Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Yesterday, Donald J. Trump signed a bunch of pardons, and within one of those pardons was one for NBA YoungBoy. For those of y'all keeping score, that's Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, and now NBA YoungBoy. Basically, what I'm trying to get at, I think Trump likes hip-hop. Let's give Donald Trump a hip-hop name. I'm gonna call him Secret Orange. Imagine Donald Trump on the phone like this. Yo, young boy, what up? It's your boy, Secret Orange. What it do? Yo, young boy, what it do? Yeah, it's your boy Orange. S Orange. Yeah, you owe me, playa. Yeah, I'm about to go free Larry Hoover too. Hit me back later. 1. Dring, dring. Hello, Secret Orange, what it do? You have a collect call from MDC jail from the Diddler. Yo, Diddy, I told you not to hit me on this line. How do you have a phone in jail anyways, bro? I'm not pardoning you. Stop calling me. Call me back on the other line later. I'll see what I can do. Peace out. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Thursday night, but for some of y'all, it's Friday! Round of applause. We made it to the end of the week, y'all. Woo! That was a long week. I had a short week, but it was still a long week, but I'm excited. It is Friday, and we can get the weekend started. But of course, we got a big show to help you kick off your weekend. All right, I have 4 great lead stories. We're going to kick it off by talking about Donald Trump pardoning NBA YoungBoy Larry Hoover and a bunch of other people. Diddy's stylist takes the stand and says she was the one who set up Cassie and Micheal B. Jordan. Mia testifies against Diddy, and her testimony was chilling, shocking, and disturbing. Also, we are going to have a discussion, kind of like what we did yesterday. We're going to bring up comments of the day a little bit higher. And we are going to discuss, are people misled about Diddy's trial because they dislike him and because the feds have an extremely high success rate? Was Diddy guilty before his trial even started? Make sure you stay tuned for that. It's a good discussion. In regular quick news, we're going to talk Elon Musk, Stefon Diggs, Joe Exotic, Beyoncé, Eddie Murphy, and Martin Lawrence. As always, we're going to close out the show with comments of the day, social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Yes, Minnesota Timberwolves, my Minnesota Timberwolves, are out of the playoffs. I'm sad, but we'll talk about it. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. Let's start this show. Let's go. It's Friday! Let's get it! I have a breaking story for you guys. This actually happened last night. I don't see too many people talking about it. I wanted to bring it to you guys. Maybe now by the time you see it, you'll hear about it. But President Trump's tariff suffers a staggering setback in the U.S. court. In a rare rebuke, a large share of the tariffs are eliminated. For now, the court says Donald Trump abused his power. Okay, I'm going to read you 2 little things on each side, and then we'll start the show. The U.S. court delivered a sharp rebuke of President Donald Trump's trade policy on Wednesday, declaring he abused his authority and striking down many of his tariffs, at least for now. Certain specific tariffs on steel and aluminum remain in place, but gone for now are sweeping levies on entire countries. The order by Manhattan-based U.S. Court of International Trade squashes Trump's 10% across-the-board tariffs on most nations and his declaration on DRUG emergency to impose 25% tariffs on a number of Canadian and Mexican goods. All right, let's go to the flip side and hear what Trump's people have to say about it. This is certainly not going to affect the negotiations because in the end, people know President Trump is 100% serious, and they also have seen that President Trump always wins. At the end of last week, the administration officials had 3 deals that were basically ready for the president's decision. There are many, many deals coming, and there are 3 that basically look like they're done. If the administration does lose on appeal, there are other statutes the White House could use to pursue Trump's tariff agenda. All right, so it just goes on to say that there is an act that Donald Trump used from 1974, if I'm not mistaken, But the White House is saying, well, you know what? There's other acts that we could find, just like how Trump did on immigration. So the court has ruled there is an appeal process, and there are other ways or other acts that President Trump can use. I have gone on record that said that we should give Donald Trump a month or two. That month or two is wearing a little bit thin. I'm happy to hear that there were 3 deals made, but this court decision, while I like the decision, I have talked with some people about it. We don't understand yet why the court took so long. Why didn't they act when he first put this down on a Liberation Day? They could have acted a little bit sooner. Why now that we're at the end and deals are starting to come out, they're putting this? I don't like how I don't like the kind of message that sends to the world. Regardless if you are Republican or Democrat or independent or whatever, I would prefer that the U.S. put on a united front. Yes, you could sit down and disagree on Fox or on CNN or whatever, but now almost like at the end as deals are coming out, now the court is going to go against Trump and said that he abuses power, which they could have done earlier. And I did do my research. They could have done. Not too sure what took them so long. They haven't come out and said that. But for now, a lot of the tariffs are off, just like what I told you. Some are still implemented. According to Donald Trump, this is not going to stop him. He's going to continue on with his negotiations. Just remember, regardless of whatever your opinion is on this, everybody will agree that there are definitely trade imbalances, and we definitely have to renegotiate the trade deficits. We just don't necessarily like how Donald Trump went about it. So, like I said, I think this is ultimately a positive. I just don't like how it's coming about. We'll follow up and let you know. But weigh in on let me know what you think about the court's decision in the comment section below. All right, you guys, I have a second breaking story for you. Tory Lanez drops witness audio from Megan Thee Staliion incident. Somebody says girl shoots into car with Tory sitting in the back. Here is the new leaked audio. Take a listen.
They get out, they start fighting here. They start fighting. The driver comes around and tries to sort of break it up.
Where's the shorter black guy?
He's in the back.
He's in the back of the car? So you see the girl doing the shooting?
I see what appears to be the girl standing here and shooting into the car. That's what it looked like to me.
All right, this just came out. I'm getting everything gathered together. I will talk to you guys about this more tomorrow, but I just wanted to let you know. So Tory Lanez's team has launched a new website containing never-before-seen audio from the night that got him convicted from his incident with Megan Thee Staliion, with the defense trial witness telling the cops at the scene that the firing from the GUN came from a woman. Okay, so like I said, this is new coming out. I just wanted to get this out to you guys. We will let you know what's going on. We've been following this Tory Lanez thing. We told you there's a sworn affidavit from Kelsey's driver saying that he heard her saying that she was the one that did this to Megan with the GUN. Now there is an audio from another person testifying that he saw a girl shoot. This is now 2 people. Breaking. We'll find out more about it and let you guys know tomorrow. I don't know if Tory's getting out, but the evidence is definitely starting to build up. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our first lead story, another one. Donald Trump reportedly pardons NBA YoungBoy. Donald Trump has pardoned, this is his real name, also known as NBA YoungBoy, according to multiple reports. Also, Trump commutes Larry Hoover's multiple life sentences. Chicago GAN leader was sentenced to more than 200 years in prison after being found guilty of unaliving people, conspiracy, and corruption. This actually literally broke just as we posted yesterday's show. Totally sucks. So I'm sure most of you must have heard it right now. I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit more detail. Before I start that, I'm going to put up here, these are some of the other people that Trump also pardoned or commuted their sentence. We told you on yesterday's show, there's 2 reality stars. I don't remember their names right now. Christy Todd and Jack Christie or something like that. More importantly, let me just read this part to you, and then I want to talk to you a little bit more about Larry Hoover. And it kind of begs the question, like, what is Donald Trump doing? Like, what's the point of all of this, okay? Trump is on a roll. He reportedly issued a full pardon for NBA YoungBoy along with several other public figures. According to reports, Trump granted a full pardon to NBA YoungBoy, one of the most streamed rappers of all time. The rapper had previously pled guilty to being a felon in possession with GUNs back in November 2024. Hence the guilty plea. So, not saying that he shouldn't have been pardoned. I'm just questioning it. He was recently released March 2025 after serving time in a correctional facility in Alabama. As previously reported, Trump also signed pardons for Todd and Julie Christie, that's what I was talking about, and Larry Hoover. But according to Fox News correspondent Pat Ward, the list is much longer and includes government employees like former Connecticut Governor John Rowland and former New York Representative Micheal Green. Now, here is what I want to talk about Larry Hoover, okay? Now, Larry Hoover remains imprisoned on a 200-year Illinois state sentence despite Donald Trump commuting his federal life term. So he commuted his sentence, but he still has 200 years on state crimes. So why is Donald Trump doing this? Let's get into this a little bit more. Donald Trump has commuted Larry Hoover's federal sentence, but the former Larry Hoover remains far from being free. Hoover, now in his 70s, has spent more than 5 decades behind bars, most recently in ADX Florence and a Supermax prison in Colorado. Though Trump's clemency ends his federal time, Hoover is still receiving a 200-year state sentence in Illinois for an unaliving that happened in 1973. In 2024, Hoover told the court he had cut ties with his GANG lifestyle and has changed. He says, "I'm no longer the man I was." His recent efforts gained national support, including a 2021 benefit concert for Kanye West and Drake. Trump's decision is part of a broader clemency push that includes reality star Todd and Julie Christie and former Congressman Micheal Green. But despite federal relief, Hoover's state conviction keeps him incarcerated indefinitely. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, in social discussion, we're going to talk a little bit more about Larry Hoover and Chance the Rapper and about commuting or pardoning and supporting people that have done wrong, okay, or have convicted and who have pled. But how do I say this? So you heard the Kanye and Drake had a concert. If you guys remember, it was streamed on Amazon in 2021. A lot of people in Chicago have been adamant about trying to let Larry Hoover out. Yes, he's admitted to some things. Yes, he was a leader in that community, but he has done a lot of good in the community. And the whole point of putting somebody in jail is to rehabilitate them. Now, these are things that he did when he was talking about Larry Hoover now. When he was 22 years old, he's been in jail for 50 years. At what point do you release somebody? Like I said, we'll discuss it a little bit more in social discussion. But for now, this is it. And be a young boy. He was pardoned and Larry Hoover commuted. Don't get it confused. He's still in jail. That's really what I wanted to bring it up to you guys. Larry Hoover is still in. There's a lot of people that are like, yo, Larry Hoover's out. Welcome home. He's still in jail. We'll talk about it more in social discussion. Our second lead story, celebrity stylist testifies in Diddy's trial, and he says that he set up Cassie with Micheal B. Jordan. All right, we're gonna skim through this testimony a little bit. A lot of it is redundant. I'm gonna bring up some key things that were really important here. So this is the stylist that testified Wednesday and also Thursday morning, okay? So he testified that he heard Diddy threaten Cassie to do things or else that he was going to release their tapes, their SEX tapes. He also confirmed that he was the one who hooked up Cassie with Micheal B. Jordan. He was also asked about Andre Branch, who was a former NFL linebacker who Cassie dated, which we knew about from her testimony. Okay, here there was also an NBA player, only referred to as Brandon. We don't know his full name or if that is his real name. Then they went to some text messages, and in those text messages, they referred to Cassie of having some injuries. And also, what is really important is Nash is asked if he was aware Cassie was having, I don't know if I could say this, but things that you do with three people, all right? Diddy, her, and another, sorry, not Diddy, but Nash was asked if Cassie was doing group sex with other men, and he replies, "Oh, no, she didn't tell me," implying that's what those text messages were about, okay? Nash was also asked about Diddy's recording Cassie on his phone, which he stands by. Nash also confirmed he helped Cassie pick out clothes for her testimony 2 weeks ago, meaning that they're still close friends even now. Nash was earlier asked about Cassie's relationship with the rapper Kid Cudi. He said he was around and they broke up with Diddy at the time, etc., etc. Okay, they go on to talk about Diddy's assistant Mia, who I'm rushing because I really want to talk to her about there. Then he was also around with Biggie and all that stuff. So basically, what it's saying is that he's really close to Cassie, and he also used to work with Diddy. And again, just what all the other people had been saying. Yes, we saw Diddy putting hands. He saw Diddy putting hands on Cassie. He saw Diddy threatening Cassie not if she doesn't do anything, he's not going to release the tape. But for me, the standout one was the text message where Cassie was having three, with other people without Diddy there. Now, like I said yesterday, and we're going to get into a little bit more today when we have this discussion, who are you to believe? Because there's text messages and people are saying that she's having this with people, do we believe that? Because if you do believe that, then it goes counter to what the prosecution is saying, that she didn't want to have these freak offs. But if people are alluding to the fact that she was having freak offs while she was dating other men, then does that mean that she likes freak offs? And I'm not saying that it does mean that she likes freak offs, but at what point do you believe somebody and do you not believe somebody? Like, do you believe this text messages or you don't? Like, this is what I'm trying to say about this trial right now that is so, like, just back and forth. I feel like you're just watching a tennis match, Couple of other things. Wednesday, Nash told the jury he saw Diddy putting hands on Cassie, including one incident where Diddy made Cassie's head bleed. He said that he didn't report him putting hands on Cassie because he feared for retaliation. One thing I just want to check here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's it. Okay, so that is Nash. Let's move on to Mia, who is like bombshell, like they're Capricorn Clark, Cassie, and Mia. Huge. This is the third big testimony. Let's jump over to that right now. Our third lead story. All right, I've been anxious to get to this. Okay, Mia just testified in the Diddy case. She's actually, they say that she's actually even going to go till tomorrow as well too. Huge testimony against Diddy. Bombshell. Now, who is Mia, you guys might be asking? We don't know. So Mia is it's a pseudonym, which is another word of saying Jane Doe. I guess not to confuse other Jane Does that might come up because they're supposed to be victim 3 or whatever. Anyways, this person is going by the name of Mia, okay? She is a female. Now, a couple of things to note. The jury knows her name. The jury actually has seen her passport. So she walks in and shows a passport, shows who her real name is. The jury is not allowed to say her name. People in the courtroom get to see her. She's not masked. She's not hidden. They get to see her. But don't forget, there's no recording devices, no phones, no nothing in the courtroom. So the public will never know who she is. So she's going by the name of Mia. But I have somebody in the courtroom, and I wanted to get her testimony from an eyewitness, not something that on the internet. Okay, so this is what somebody told me, so at least we can get some description of who this person is. I have a lot of things to say, but let me not jump. Okay, first of all, she is in her 40s. She looks to be like in her 40s. She is a white woman. She's very pretty. She looks very, very, very scared, very timid. Her head is down most of the time. Now, I'm going to bring up something in comments of the day where people are like, oh, Trent, do you read the transcripts the day, or do you like how, because you guys know I have people in the core room or people in the overflow room, and people are like, oh, you should read the transcripts. I do get the transcripts and I do read them, but I like to talk to people in the court because you don't get in the transcripts. Mia's head was down. Mia is looking at her hands. Mia looks like she's scared. Mia is petrified of even looking in Diddy's eyes. Those to me hold more weight than just her words. So if you guys are ever wondering why during my daily podcast, when I try to recount things to you, I try to recount things that are not on the internet, that are from people who I know, lawyers who I know, and friends, other YouTubers that are in the courtroom that are telling me these things. Okay. So she is petrified of Diddy. She testified that Diddy R-worded her not once, not twice, but on multiple occasions. So S-A and R-word, she testified. She testified that she used to live with Diddy. That was part of her job as his assistant personnel, which sounds bad when you hear the rest of it, but keep in mind, celebrities have a lot of live-in helpers, maids, butlers, etc., right? So it sounds bad, but it's not super far-fetched. The thing that's bad is what happened. Anyways, this is just so bad. What happens more is what I'm about to tell you. Diddy did not let her close the door, have any closed doors or have locks on the door. Now, I understand if you're a maid or a butler or a housekeeper or whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. You can't have a lock on your door? Why? What is that? He'd come in and put his hands on her, around her skirt area, or if she's wearing pants. One of the people told me it looks like she has PTSD. Like when she is recounting these stories and saying these things to the jury, it's almost like the look on her face is, they said here PTSD, but if you know, like it's almost like flashbacks and like she's like being traumatized by it. Now this goes into believing the testimony or not. Sometimes you hear somebody say something and it's like, that doesn't even sound believable. What I'm hearing is that it sounds incredibly believable, and this person is having a hard time. They're not just coming there and just talking. They're having a hard time saying this, okay? Also important to know, this is why she's under a Jane Doe or Mia, is that this person has filed a civil suit against Diddy. One of the civil suits that we have said to you before in the past, which I don't know, there's 100 of them or 150 by now. And because one judge let her file her civil suit under Jane Doe, now in this trial, automatically she gets to serve as Jane Doe or Mia. Whereas Cassie, when she filed her suit, she filed as Cassie in her civil suit where she got $20 million. Now we know it's confirmed she got $20 million. So if you file a civil suit in your name, you can't come in this trial and be like, oh, I want to remain as Jane Doe. Same thing that happened, I think, with Don Richard. So that's important to note. Another key thing, which you're going to see all over the internet, is Mia also testified that her, Cassie, and Diddy and a couple other people were at a party that Prince was having, or at Prince's house. I'm not too sure. But Cassie and Diddy got into an argument, and it was actually Prince who jumped in when Diddy was putting hands on Cassie, and Prince was the one who broke it up, and then his security guards stopped everything from going on. So I don't know why. I guess anytime there's a celebrity name brought up, people are like, oh my gosh, Prince did this or whatever. But if you guys are hearing Prince and you see that like on your timelines and stuff, know that Mia's testimony is far deeper and far more shocking than Prince stopped Diddy from putting hands on Cassie. I mean, I'm happy that he did, but Mia's testimony is shocking. A couple other things to add to Mia's testimony. Asked about working for Diddy, Mia said his moods changed often. She described being targeted by Diddy in alleged violent incidences, being thrown against the wall, having things thrown at her, including an ice bucket to her head, and slamming her arm into a door. And she says that she was essayed more than once. She says one time She says, sorry, the first time she met Diddy, he was in his underwear at his apartment after a human resource person left. Mia testified she once stayed up for 5 days straight to work, and she had to take some, I don't know if I could say this, but she had to take some things to help keep her going for the 5 days. So crazy testimony. I did not see that coming. We definitely heard Cassie saying that there was one night where Diddy and her were at a restaurant and then he R-worded her. We have heard other things, but I was not expecting for this to come out from an assistant. I just don't even know what to say, man. Like, just like I've said to you guys a bunch of times, like, this guy is like beyond just horrible, right? Like, this guy has mental issues. I keep on wanting to remind you guys, this isn't like some, like crazy guy in the street, like running around doing this. This is a man that has 6 children living in his house. He has 4 daughters. 2 of them who just graduated, they're 18. Actually, I think the 3 of them are 18 because they had them around the same time. Like 3 girls who are 18 years old. Like, crazy work. Anyways, that is the testimony. There is still more going on from what I've heard. I don't think the defense has gotten into cross-examine, so that's probably what's going to be tomorrow. Like you guys know, we'll do special episodes, like a Friday night episode, even if we just have to tell you more about that, because I feel like there's going to be a lot more that comes out from Mia, and we'll let you know. All right, let's move on to a really good discussion that I want to have with you guys. Sorry to hear what happened to Mia, man. Crazy. Our 4th lead story. Are people being misled about the Diddy trial because they dislike him and because the feds have an extremely high success rate? Was Diddy guilty before the trial even began? All right, I'm making up my own lead story. This is not a headline somewhere. Just like yesterday, I pulled up a comment higher up and put it into lead stories, and I think a lot of you liked it. Might start doing that a little bit more often when I feel there's a lot to discuss. And I'm going to do it again today. I have a little note, so I'm going to be a little bit all over the place. Sorry. But I think this discussion needs to be had. Okay. So this comment comes from Spirit Dragon 888. Spirit Dragon said, I wish you could use timestamps for your lead stories because I cannot stand listening to your Diddy case opinions. They're triggering the F out of me. Well, first of all, Spirit Dragon, sorry that you feel triggered. Never mean to do that to anybody. Second of all, thank you so much for your comment. Like I said yesterday, and like I always say, I love when people comment and disagree with me. That's the whole point of this podcast. I say it every day. The whole point is for you guys to comment below and for us to have a discussion. This is a discussion podcast with me and you. So thank you so much for your comment. Before I address, I also wanted to say there are timestamps on YouTube and on podcast platforms. You just open up the description and you'll see timestamps. You could jump from any lead story. You could jump to quick news. You could jump to question of the day, social discussion. You could jump around. I've always done that since the beginning of my podcast. So for those who don't know, you could skip around. I prefer you don't and just watch the whole thing because sometimes I'll get to a story and then you won't understand the context. I would prefer if you listen to the whole thing. But Spirit Dragon, please feel free to skip. Hopefully you're not skipping this so that you can hear it. Somebody tell her in the comment section not to skip at least this episode. Now, before I talk about you not standing me talking about Diddy, I also want to read a comment from Spirit Dragon that she left 4 weeks ago before the Diddy trial even started, okay? Spirit Dragon put this comment on episode 494, and she said, you are literally 100% wrong. Do you know the record of wins the feds get in the US? It's over 90% of cases. Actually, it's higher than that. It's like 96, 97, but it's fine. They have more than enough evidence. You have no idea. Well, actually, they have a lot of testimony and not a lot of evidence, but okay. They have already made so many other arrests that we are not told about. There is more than one victim, and they will be showing more than one video. Dude, prosecution, feds know exactly what they are doing. I 100% disagree with you. Okay, I wanted to read that comment just to show basically Spirit Dragon had already assumed that Diddy was guilty before it even started because of the fact that it was the feds, their success rate, and a bunch of other things. She was leaning towards that side, and that's totally fine. However, as you guys know every day, I always try to stay in the middle of things and give every side their chance. Whether or not I think Diddy is guilty or not, which I do think he's guilty, whether or not I think Diddy is crazy and should be put in the insane asylum, which I do, I think they should be put away for life. I am looking at this, and I talk every day from a court aspect, and I talk to you guys about a jury. So decide that I want to come on this podcast every day and talk to you guys about the evidence and testimony. And yesterday we talked about the difference between circumstantial evidence and direct evidence. And I said that this case is all about circumstantial evidence and testimony and we haven't really seen any direct evidence. Now, I'm not going to get into that today. If you guys want to go check out yesterday's episode, but I think that's where Spirit Dragon was coming from, of like, I don't want to even hear your opinions on the Diddy trial, and that's totally fine. I understand if you don't want to hear it. Like I said, you could skip, but that's what I'm actually trying not to do, is trying not to give so much my opinion. Now, I just gave my opinion in Mia's testimony, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel sorry for her. Horrible, Diddy's a horrible person or whatever. And that is that. But when I talk about the trial, I'm trying to take my opinion and my feelings and my emotions out of it and just talk about the actual trial and about convicting somebody and sending somebody away for life with a jury of 12 people who need to convict beyond a reasonable doubt. So when I say I'm a little bit disappointed in the Southern District of New York, which is supposed to be the most prestigious court system in the world, almost, definitely in the United States, I'm just a little disappointed that in 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, we haven't seen any direct evidence, and it's just circumstantial. It's just testimony. Are the testimonies compelling? 1,000%. Was Mia's testimony today extremely gut-wrenching and disturbing and shocking? 1,000%. However, there was no direct evidence, okay? And I don't want to even disrespect Mia and go into what direct evidence of her testimony would be, because it's going to sound too harsh, but I'm sure you can put two and two together. This is a statement from somebody that the jury will have to believe. There was no direct evidence of anything that she said, okay? And just to make sure, like, direct evidence would be a video of something, all right? Something that is just undisputed, like it's direct. Like, I don't know, if you see me, walking through your front door, like Trent walked through the front door, here's a video of Trent walking through the front door. Like, that's direct evidence. Like, you cannot dispute that. Circumstantial is, hey, like, this is somebody's testimony. You could choose to believe them or not. Or like, hey, we saw a black male leaving. He's light-skinned and 6'2". It could be Trent. I think it's Trent. That's circumstantial evidence, okay? So why I am talking so much about circumstantial evidence and testimony, I have a question for you guys. For the past 2.5 weeks, close to 3 weeks now, we have heard, like I said, crazy testimony. And we are supposed to believe that testimony, and we are hoping the jury will believe all that testimony. What are you guys going to do in 2 weeks from now when it's Diddy's lawyer's turn to put on their defense, and they have people come up and they say things and they testify to things that totally counter that are completely opposite from what the prosecution says. So they're going to have their chance to put up people, and they're going to testify things. They're going to testify about Cassie. They're going to testify this or whatever, blah, blah. Are you going to believe everything they say, or are you only going to believe the testimony that comes from the prosecution? You guys are forgetting that testimony is testimony. And if you come up there and you swear on oath, you're supposed to tell the truth and we're supposed to believe it. Wait for Diddy's defense team, that Diddy has the best lawyers in America. You don't think they're going to bring people that say things that completely contradict? That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Trent's mind. They're going to totally contradict what people are saying now. Are you going to believe them? This is my question for you guys. Trust me, with testimony as your leading evidence, you're going to have doubt in the jury's mind. And all it takes is for one person on the jury to have a reasonable doubt. Like, I'm pretty sure Diddy is guilty. I'm pretty sure he did all of these things. I'm pretty sure. But I cannot send him to jail beyond a reasonable doubt just based off of testimonies, because his defense put up a lot of testimonies that I forgot the word already. that counteract what I heard from the prosecution. And that is where reasonable doubt can come in. And the prosecution is not done yet, but I'm just saying, I'm just disappointed that we haven't seen more direct evidence from the prosecution. And again, Spirit Dragon, if that triggers you, I'm so sorry that you feel triggered. I never want anybody to feel triggered. But from a legal standpoint, that's just the legal truth. I've said to you guys before, I've had over 15 to 20 cases, from business to entertainment to criminal. I have over 10 lawyers. I have done this. I have a lot of experience in it. And every day before I talk to 2 lawyers. I'm actually paying them to just make sure that I'm staying on track when I'm talking about legal things. Okay. You might not like it. I hate it, but it is what it is. It is our legal system. All right. So I just want to go over notes to just make sure I didn't forget anything. So here, this is okay. So reasonable doubt, Diddy's lawyers, who are you going to believe? And okay, this is what I want to talk about. And I think this might be in another comment of the day. Somebody has said when I said, I wish somebody would have, actually, no, this is what I said. I said that in 10 or 15 years from what has been happening, right? Cassie said it started around 2008. So let's say till today. So let's say 15, 20 years. I was like, yo, nobody like hit record on their cell phone. Nobody like went out to, some electronic store, got like a little cheap wire tap. Nobody, in their car while Diddy was talking on his cell phone, the text. I was like, yo, there's no direct evidence of anything of all these things people are saying. Like nobody. And you guys dragged me in the comment section saying, I can't believe that you would ask. Leighton, I'm going to actually talk about. Leighton actually answered me yesterday, and he gave me my props. We're going to talk about it in comments of the day. But Leighton was one of them. A couple other people were like, how do you expect people to get, him on video or wear a wire or do anything like that? Diddy was crazy. He checked people's cell phones. He did all of this stuff. And again, just to be clear, I'm not saying that Cassie should have done it. I'm not saying Capricorn Clark should have done it. I'm just saying I find it hard to believe that in the span of 20 years, 400 people that have been in and out of this organization, nobody got some sort of direct evidence on Diddy. Like, no. And people are like, oh, how can you? He's crazy. And guys, I feel like you're treating Diddy like he's God or something. Like, this is the Southern District of New York. The biggest court and the biggest feds, you're talking about the feds, they have brought down people 10 times more dangerous, 10 times more scary, 10 times badder than Sean Diddy Combs. Like, give me a break. Like, it's Diddy at the end of the day. There have been wiretaps, video surveillance on far bigger criminals than Diddy, okay? So give me a break that I cannot sit down here and at least say, yo, in 20 years, nobody could have gotten a little phone call when you're on the phone with him, record it, put it in a little safe somewhere or whatever. He's going to check your phone. I'm not saying for you to live on your phone. I'm not saying Capricorn Clark, while she was taken, she should have been like, hey, hold on, before you're taking me, let me record you. Ha ha, here's Diddy taking me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm disappointed in the Southern District of New York for not having something. Now, having said that, I said to you guys yesterday, so I just want to make sure. Actually, that there was okay. I kind of alluded to this yesterday, and maybe people didn't get it. I'm going to come out and say it. I'll take the risk. There is evidence. I know people that have seen evidence. YouTubers and people on social media get things sent to them all the time. DJ Vlad, Whack 100, Tasha K, Jaguar Wright, me. Trust me, I know people that have seen things, okay? I already know somebody right now that knows the name of Mia. Now, I will never put out her name. I hope nobody puts out her name because it's her wish not to put out her name. But trust me, by the time this video comes out, you search hard enough on the web, you'll be able to find out Mia's. There's things out there. And what I'm trying to say to you guys, what I'm saying I'm disappointed is there is evidence out there, but Diddy bought it up. Diddy got to people before the feds can get to them. And that's why the feds have lost victim 3. That's why I told you guys yesterday, they're cutting their prosecution by a week. There's some people who are not calling. Diddy knew this was going to be coming around a long time before it did. You guys remember a year and a half ago when Diddy was giving out contracts and giving his artists their royalties? Why do you think Diddy was giving out royalties when we know for the past 10 or 15 years that Diddy was known to be the worst record executive in the music industry, giving the worst contracts, Mace, Locks, all of them. All of a sudden, 2 years ago, Diddy was like, I want to give everybody back their royalties. People are asking him, why do you want to give your artists back their royalties after 15 years of taking the royalties? I'm love now. I'm Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs love. I just want to give back to the love. I want to give back to my people. There is evidence, people. And the Southern District of New York, they're supposed to be the best in the world. They should have done a better job of getting some direct evidence on Diddy. And I'm not going to get into why. Maybe they rushed it. Maybe they should have taken more time. We won't get into that now. But I'm going to be very upset if at the end of this trial, there is a mistrial or a hung jury because you have 1 or 2 people on a jury that are like, sorry, there's a lot of testimony out here, but Diddy had a lot of testimony too, and I cannot send somebody to jail for the rest of their life beyond a reasonable doubt just off of testimony. And you could talk to a lot of legal experts, and they'll tell you the exact same thing that I'm telling you. It sucks. And that's all that I'm trying to get at. So again, Spirit Dragon, I'm sorry that you're triggered. I'm sorry that it sucks. And I'm sorry that's how the criminal system works, but that's just how it works. It is so hard to convict somebody like Diddy. And the Southern District of New York knows that. He already tried for a mistrial yesterday. That could also get grounds for appeal. Just because the judge now said, no, I'm not going to give you grounds for a mistrial. Trust me, they're still working on it. And after he's found guilty, that will be put into appeal court. So anyways, I can go talking on this for forever. I'll go over my notes, but I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. We'll talk more about this in the comment section. Spirit Dragon, once again, so sorry that you ever feel triggered or anybody else that you feel triggered. But I want to do my best to give you guys my opinion while also giving you guys the legal facts. And yeah, thank you very much. We'll talk about this more in regular comments of the day. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Elon Musk has officially left the Trump administration. I would like to thank, this is from Elon Musk, I would like to thank President Donald Trump for the opportunity. Elon Musk put this out and it says, as my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Donald Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. The Doge mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government. Look, we have talked about Elon Musk at length here on this podcast and the Doge committee. Nobody ever was upset about cutting wasteful spending. We're just all upset at the way they went about doing it, sending out the emails and if you don't answer now, if you don't answer by Monday, then you can be out of a job. Like just the whole a lot of things that Trump does. Like the concept is good and the execution is horrible, like just horrible. And this is in quick story, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But they, Donald Trump and Elon Musk promised, if I'm not mistaken, it was $2 trillion in cuts. Is it 2 or 1 trillion? Anyways, I think they ended up doing like 3 billion or something. I'm not 100% on the numbers, but it was far less than they told us that they were going to do. That's the other problem. Your execution was horrible and you were so far behind your target. That's why he's like, oh, it's just going to become a life as it continues. It's not an easy thing to do. Now, to be fair, Donald Trump campaigned on cutting wasteful spending. He did it. I shouldn't say he did it. He tried to do it. Elon Musk got the short end of the stick because he lost, I don't know what, $20 billion. Tesla's in the hole. Like, it's just, things have gone totally bad. And I've said this before, like, I don't understand what Elon Musk was thinking. You're going to head up a department where you're firing people and you're taking money out of people's paychecks. And you thought that was going to go over well? like the little sliver of people in MAGA that was like, yeah, let's do this. Like, you thought the rest of America was going to be applauding you. I just don't understand how that was going to happen. Now, Elon Musk was really doing this, not really because he cares about government's wasteful spending. It's just because he has a lot of government contracts and he wanted to help out Donald Trump. So does the job outweigh what he's going to get in the long run? He lost $2 billion, but he's going to be indebted. Trump is going to be indebted to him and give him a bunch of government contracts. We'll revisit Elon Musk in 2 years and 3 years, and then we'll see. Is he still on pace? Is he still going to be a trillionaire? Then it was worth it in his books, but your execution was horrible. Goodbye, Elon Musk. Our second quick story. Patriots head coach addresses video of Stefon Diggs holding a mystery substance during a boat party. All right, we told you guys about this yesterday. Remember when Stefon Diggs and Cardi B was on this boat and those 3 girls were in the video I actually didn't play it. I put it on Firmly Out Loud because I couldn't play it here. But for those of you who didn't go to Firmly Out Loud, our Instagram account, FORMALLY, Stefon Diggs was on a boat with 3 girls and he was like, yo, what's my name? What's my name? He wanted them to call him daddy before he gave them something which looks like a substance of some sort, which is why I couldn't put it on YouTube. But Cardi B was there on the boat. So it went viral. People are like, how could he do this to Cardi? Cardi was on the boat, etc. Now people are talking about the substance now that they've done talking about Cardi B, all right? Now you're all caught up. Patriots head coach addresses video of Stefon Diggs holding a mysterious substance during a boat party. New England Patriots head coach confirmed Wednesday that the team is aware of the viral video featuring wide receiver Stefon Diggs. In the clip, Diggs is seen on the boat surrounded by women holding what appears to be a pink substance. His rumored girlfriend, Cardi B, was also present on the boat. The video has sparked widespread speculation, but it remains unclear what the substance is and when the footage was taken. Here is the coach. Take a listen.
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And any conversations that I've had with Stefon will remain between him and I and the club.
Yeah, so basically they're just letting him get away because he's too valuable to cut. We all know what it was, bro. My whole thing is, why are you putting these things on social media? You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are huge stars. You should be on that boat and be like, yo, no cell phones. I've been to a lot of parties and a lot of events. Yo, no cell phones in the green room. No cell phones here. No cell phones out. Like, you can't be doing these things for attention, put it out on Instagram and think that, the NFL ain't going to come calling you. Like, things that Cardi B can get away with, Stefon Diggs can't get away with. If you're signed to the NBA, you're signed to the NFL, you're signed to a league like that, it's going to be repercussions. But I guess Stefon Diggs will get used to it the longer he's with Cardi B. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our third quick story. Joe Exotic pardon not off the table awaits review in future Trump clemency decision. Joe Exotic still has a path to freedom. He's learned of a potential pardon from President Trump is not off the table, despite the Tiger King getting snubbed in the latest round of Trump clemency ruling. Yo, guys, Trump pardoning people could literally just be a reality show. I have heard about Joe Exotic. For those of you who don't know, by the way, just go on Netflix and type in Tiger King and you'll see it's crazy. I mean, I think it was at one time the most viewed documentary on Netflix. It was crazy. I remember watching it. Who was it? I think it was I can't remember who told me about it. Anyways, I do remember. I just don't want to tell you the name. I stopped myself. Anyways, focus, Trent. Oh, I can't tell you if he's guilty or not, but Joe Exotic has literally for the past 6-7 months yo, Trump, pardon me. Like, just everybody in jail now is just going to like sign up for Trump to pardon them. Like, what? I would like to hear why they're getting pardoned and what's the reason. Like, I want to hear somebody that like, hey, the evidence, there was no DNA, there was this, people were lying or do whatever, blah, blah, and they're stuck in jail. Like, there's so many people that are in jail right now, wrongly convicted. And Donald Trump's just like, Joe Exotic, yeah, Netflix, yeah, boom, okay, cool, yeah. Hey, young NBA young boy, cool, done. Yo, like, what is going on? Like, we're talking about the United States of America, the judicial system. And Trump is just like, cool, who's next? Crazy. If Joe Exotic gets off and he gets pardoned, like, it's crazy work. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Our fourth quick story. This is a little update on Beyonce and her tour. Y'all know I'm just loving this Cowboy Carter tour. It's 55 degrees and pouring rain tonight in Jersey, and Beyonce still put on an entire show in the freezing cold, being soaking wet. This is a woman who understands what it takes to be the greatest. Also, another thing that came out yesterday is Beyonce did a fan reveal gender at Cowboy Carter in New Jersey, and it was a baby boy. There's literally no reason for me to be sharing this for you. I just wanted to let you know Beyonce is out here doing great things, performing in the rain and doing gender reveals for people. I know some of y'all want to hate on Queen Bee, but she's out here doing a good job. And I want to go to the concert. Maybe somebody that's seeing this, somebody in her camp that watches the show, will be like, hey, Trent, got some tickets for you. Let me know what you think about B in the comment section below. Our fifth quick story. Eddie Murphy reveals his son and Martin Lawrence's daughter ran off and got married 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'm so upset at this. I thought this was going to be something big, huge wedding between like my two favorite comedians. And they went off and got married with nobody there. Listen to this. Eddie Murphy revealed on Tuesday's episode of Jennifer Hudson's show that his son Eric and Martin Lawrence's daughter Jasmine ran off and got married a couple of weeks ago. The comedian told Jennifer Hudson that everybody was planning a large wedding for the now newlyweds when they got engaged in November 2024, and that they decided to do a small and intimate wedding just with them and the priest at the church. While he joked that Martin Lawrence got out of having to pay for a lavish wedding, he shared that they plan to have a large celebration in the future. So I guess they just got fed up of the large wedding and do whatever. They got married without even their parents. They just went to a priest and was like, can you marry us? Done. So I've been talking about this on the show. Well, not that much, but I definitely have told you guys. The two, like, it's just so weird that their kids are together, but two of the world's like greatest comedians of all times, their children get married and we have no wedding pictures. Sucks. Anyways, just wanted to let y'all know that have wed. Wish them all the best. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings me to my favorite segment, Comments of the Day. I'm starting to really like Comments of the Day. I know it's my favorite segment, but that's why I'm bringing up some comments to lead stories. Like, I love reading your comments and having discussions with you guys, like disagreeing with me or agreeing with me, whatever. Like, I honestly just really like it. And I have a few today that we're not going to spend as long as the first one, but we're going to get in today. Just wanted to let you guys know that I like it. Sorry, it's Friday. Okay, I'm in a good mood. All right. Before we start the comment section, I have a very important question for you guys. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are if you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Okay, just go to my sponsor below, Aura.com/Trent Out Loud, and you can get a 14-day free trial to find out if any of your data has been exposed. Now, I think it has. Maybe you haven't. Just go to the link below and then you'll find out if it has for free. Yo, that should be the pitch. Like, what else do you need? I shouldn't even have to read anything. Why does Aura make me read this whole thing? That was just so good. Like, do you think that you've been exposed? I don't know. All right. Well, I think that you might have, because I didn't think I was. And then I found out that I was exposed. I didn't think that I was. And then I found out, yeah. Okay. So you think you haven't. I think you have. I have a link below for free, and we can find out who's right or wrong. Done. Yo, I'm ripping this up. No, I can't. I love doing this. If you've ever wondered how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is flooded with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers who sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. This is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. They make me say out louders, by the way, because they love that name so much. Aura takes care of the hard part, automatically removing your info off the sites and keeping it off. That doesn't have to be in here, but I had to put that in here. They take it off the sites for you and keep it off. Jeez. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. For those of you who might be thinking, you know what, Trent, I already have my own digital security tool. Well, guess what? Having your own digital security tool and not having Aura is leaving your front door locked. It's like leaving your front door locked and leaving your back door open, or your window open, or your side door open. Do you want to do that? No. That's why you should get Aura. Yo, they should pay me double for this. With Aura, you get, sorry, hold on. Where am I starting here now? Yeah, with Aura, you get alerts if your personal info is found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for your credit card and banking. That's actually really serious. They also have a secure VPN, antitrust, password manager, and they have US-based support round-the-clock help, which is really, really good. Their customer service is amazing. The great thing is that even after all of this, if anything does go wrong, they have a $5 million identity theft insurance protection. So you're protected on the front end and on the back end. $5 million. What more do you want? Go to my link below, or I'll put it the QR code. Like I said, it's a 14-day free trial. And all jokes aside, it is actually really amazing to find out the things that they could find for you. And it is for free. If after you sign up and after they do all of that stuff and all that work for you, if you want to stay and keep yourself off and keep yourself safe, that's up to you guys. That's up to y'all. My whole point here is just to get you guys to sign up to the 14-day free trial. It's free. It doesn't cost you even a penny, nothing. And you could see if I'm right, because I got caught with my side door open, my back door open, and all the windows open, and my whole thing got messed up, and I had to change everything, all my cards, license. It was a nightmare. That's the only reason why I found Aura. They actually started listening to the show, and they're like, hey, we want to give you something for your outlouders. All right, so thank you, Aura. Please try to comment once you sign up and let me know, or send me an email. I love getting the emails of how great Aura is. So that's that. Second of all, for those of you who have never heard of Aura, that's fine. They are the leaders for digital protection in the country. They used to be the jersey badge for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who just lost, which is really sucks, but who just lost. Here is a picture of here's a picture of Ann Edwards and also Karl Anthony Towns before he went to the Knicks. Anyways, just showing you how big and legit of a company they are. Make sure you guys sign up below. Don't miss out, okay? Okay, now, that is one. Let's go to the comments. And I have like, I don't know, 5 or 6. So I'm going to go through them a little bit quickly, okay? Carrie says, can you imagine what Diddy would have done if he found out she was wearing a wire or recording him? Okay, Carrie, and like everybody else, I'm going to start repeating myself every day now. I'm not saying Cassie. I'm not saying specific. I'm just saying of the whole organization, get, go to police, get an undercover person in there, get somebody that, acts as a butler, but they're really with the CIA or with the FBI. Like, this is what I'm saying, people. Hey guys, Diddy is running bad boy like a GANG, a criminal organization. Cool. Can we get somebody in there? Cassie, can you say one of your friends is this? And then it will be an undercover agent. Then they go in and they're the ice boy or they're the bag boy or whatever. Just like all of these people, I'm saying, could somebody have worn a wire? Could somebody have gone out to Radio Shack, if Radio Shack is still around, and got a little listening device? Like, I'm not saying Cassie should have worn a wire every time she was doing a freak off. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in the 15 or 20 year span, I wish somebody could have gotten something in there. And I wish so much that I know there was somebody that got in, and there is some evidence, but like I told y'all, Diddy brought it up. And I really just wish the feds could have got a hold of it. So again, just wanted to reiterate that. Next one is Donna. Donna says, I disagree with you. If I was a jury, Of the evidence so far, I would say guilty, and that's the point. It's up to the jury. 100% totally agree with you. It's really up to the jury. All I'm saying, and I forgot actually to say this before, is don't forget the defense, Diddy's team, they have an opportunity to say and pick who is on the jury. And I don't know if you know this, but there are companies, experts that are paid by Diddy and his team to help them pick a jury. And they get into the minds of people, and they have psychologists. Dr. Phil is actually one of the most famous ones in the US before he was on TV and stuff. They just have to find one that would think like, hey, this is just circumstantial evidence. Hey, this is not enough to convict. All you just need is one. You might convict. I might convict. Most of my viewers, the out louders, might convict. But there could be one. And I have somebody in the comment section that doesn't think that they have enough to convict. And that's just one person in my comment section. Do you think that there might be one person on the jury? It could be. If they had direct evidence, it wouldn't matter. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys for a week. Anyways, let's go on with what else Donna said. Donna said, so what if Cassie says, who am I going to date? It's just girl talk. You're a guy. Guys have their talk. Doesn't really mean anything. My point exactly. So basically, Donna is alluding to the fact of yesterday, Diddy's defense team brought up that one of her stylists said, hey, why don't you leave Diddy and date somebody else? And Cassie says, who else is there to date? Jay-Z is already taking, alluding to the fact that Cassie's a gold digger. She just wants to be with high-profile people. And we hear her with NFL players. She wants to be with a guy with money. And I agree with you, Donna. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It's just girl talk. But to be fair, if that's just girl talk, then what if Diddy says, hey, I want to go on a live Kid Cudi? Why do you have to believe that? That could just be angry boyfriend talk. I've heard enough people be like, yo, I'm so pissed off. I want to unalive this person. That's just talk. Should you convict them for saying that? So you see what I'm saying? Like, oh, Cassie's not wrong for saying, not that she's not wrong, but, oh, that's just girl talk saying, oh, Jay-Z is already taken. That doesn't mean that she's a bad person. Well, if you don't want to say that Cassie's words shouldn't be taken, then why should anyone's words be taken? And this is my problem with words. This whole trial is on words and what people said and what Diddy said. Aside from the fact of, yes, Diddy putting his hands on Cassie, etc., we all know that that's wrong. But we're talking about RICO. We're talking about some other things, okay? And Donna's last comment says, Trent, you're always getting updates from other people. Do you ever read the transcripts of the court? And yes, Donna, I told you guys earlier, I do read the transcripts. I, however, just like to talk to legal minds, and I like to talk to people that are there that they could tell me emotions instead of just reading cold words on a sheet, okay? Barbara says, as usual, very interesting analysis, Trent. Nothing in this world is black or white. You have to consider the 50 nuances of gray. In France, where I'm living, that will be your talk against my talk, and definitely the one who got the best advocate will majority win. Thank you for your energy and explanations. Love from France. Thank you, Barbara. I love that. 100% nuances, back and forth, etc. And again, just want to remind you guys, this podcast is all about opinions, nuances, etc., etc. And more importantly, for me, it's always about staying in the middle and seeing both sides, whether it be about Trump, Biden, whether it be about Diddy, whether it be about Cassie. And I understand for you guys, you might say, yo, Diddy's a monster, just throw him in jail. I agree with you, but I'm here also to tell you from his side and the perspective from his side and what his defense team is doing to keep him out of jail. And also on the prosecution side, what I think they could be doing better to make sure he stays in jail. Okay. So anyways, Barbara, thank you for that. All right. My man, Leighton Spalding from yesterday. Listen to this comment. This is exactly why I do this show. Trent, I absolutely respect your response to my comment. Shows you are unbiased in discussing and arguing your point. Enough respect. I still believe in context of who Diddy is and the things he does when he catches persons in the act. It would be extremely difficult to record anything secretly, but I get your point. In hindsight, we wish there were videos, but in the moment, I doubt they thought that today would be the way it is. Remember, he searched their phones regularly. I think movies has caused us to have unrealistic expectations. By the way, I watch your show regularly every night when it seems to be morning where you are at. Very interesting show, and I find different things to agree with as well as argue about at the same time. Maybe that's why I look for your show every night. Interactive and entertaining much. Yo, thank you so much for that comment, and 100% yes, love the back and forth, and that is the point why I want you guys to tune in, 1000%. So for those of you who didn't hear Leighton's comment, just go check out yesterday. We had a great back and forth. Love to see that. Just to add in on your last point about movies having movies giving us unrealistic expectations and searching her phone. Somebody could easily record something in their phone, take it off their phone, put it in a safety deposit box, and delete it. They don't have to carry it out on their phone. And like I said, I'm not basing this on movies, unrealistic expectations. I understand what you're trying to say, but I know girls that have caught guys cheating. I know people that have caught people doing things, and just a lot of things that I have seen just with normal, everyday little recording devices and little things, okay? From men, women, work, or whatever. There's a ton of little devices out there, a ton. Trust me, this is not movies. This is real life, okay? Anyways, thank you so much for that comment and the follow-up. Next one is from Juan. Hell yeah, she's a gold digger. She, Cassie, should have been his co-defendant, and I ain't no Diddy fan. There you go. There's one person just in my comment section, not necessarily answering if Diddy is guilty or not, but thinks that not only do they not believe Cassie's testimony, but they think she should be going to jail too, and she should be his co-defendant. Now, I would love to hear what Juan had to say about if Diddy is guilty or not, but if from that comment, it seems as if though he doesn't think that Diddy is guilty, and there are comments that I've seen where people think that he's not guilty, or they think that he will get off. Next one is Patrice. Patrice says, everybody is so focused on Rico. What about the other charges? One of the reasons why I tend to focus more on Rico is that it's so much more complex. And I already told you guys, the charge of SEX trafficking, that's already done. Like he's guilty of that. That's over with. The thing with that is that doesn't serve a long time. And when he gets charged guilty with that and he is found guilty of, because that's just trafficking, right? Did you bring somebody across state lines? Did you bring somebody from New York to LA for the reason of paying them to have SCX? We all know that happened. That's been proven, done. So he's going to be guilty of that, but he'll get off on time served because he's already been in jail for 9 months. What we're focusing on the RICO is that's what will put him away for life. Even SCX trafficking with force, fraud, and coercion, that is still, I think, 10 or 15 years, but it's the RICO that will put him away for life. That's why people are focusing on it. And like I said, it's a harder thing to prove. So that's why people are talking about it a little bit more. The next one is Elaine, I think. Elaine says, hi, Trent. I'm curious why you decided not to cover the Blake Lively lawsuit mess. It's been all over the media for a minute now. Love from Elaine in blistering hot Cancun. Yeah, so a lot of people have asked me that. So I was a little bit late on that. And every time I feel like I want to jump in, I feel like it's too late. And it's kind of like double judge. And I just got stuck and I just decided not to jump in. When I talk about something, I need to understand it fully and completely so that I could discuss it like this. And I don't not like to talk about things that I don't understand. You hear me that on the show sometimes. I think it was just yesterday with those reality stars. I was like, I don't understand. Not that I don't understand. Like, I don't know who these people are. I don't know if they deserve a pardon. And I asked you guys to comment. So I didn't know enough about that trial. And I just feel like it's so far gone for me to jump in now. But my bad. Trust me, I'll make sure to follow up on interesting trials that come up. Okay. All right. So that was it on the comments. Like I said, thank you so much to everybody for commenting, disagreeing with me, agreeing with me. The only thing I ask is that you come back and you still listen for the answer. Of course, I cannot answer everybody, but I try to pick things that I see everybody saying, and I use that one as, the poster child for it while answering all the other ones, okay? And I don't know, I've always wanted a podcast where I'm discussing with people. People have said, we should go live and have a discussion, and we'll think about doing that. But really, really, really love that I have a podcast with followers and listeners that listen to somebody else's opinion will disagree with my opinion and come back and continue listening. Like, that's amazing. And you know what? There might be some that leaves, and that's fine too. Spirit Dragon might have felt so triggered, and I would hate for that to have happened. But I love the community that we're building. And like I always said, and like somebody else said here too, there's always nuance, there's always 50-50, and you always have to see both sides. And that's what I always try to do here. Of course, I'm going to give you my opinion, but I'm always open to hear both sides. And I hope that you guys see that as something that's different. You watch Fox News and it's one way. You watch CNN and it's another way. Well, Fox is a little bit leaning, a little bit of right in there. But yeah, that's the point here, is to see the defense and the prosecution. And I hope that you guys will still support me through this journey. One more time before I go, I'm going to put up the QR code once again. Do not forget to click the link below. It is absolutely 100% free to find out if any of your information is out on the dark web. They'll do it for free, and then it's up to you if you want to continue. All right, so sign up for Aura today. Don't let any more time slip, because your stuff could be out there. Thanks for commenting. All right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. Chance the Rapper calls Chicago GANG leader Larry Hoover a political prisoner who was targeted by the government, expresses gratitude for Donald Trump's pardon. Chance the Rapper called Larry Hoover a political prisoner and claims he was targeted by the government, etc., etc. However, the Chicago leader still faces 200 years. Okay, we talked about that. I'm going to play a little clip from, you know what? I'm not going to play this clip from Chance the Rapper because it's misleading. He talks about him being free and him being home, and he's not home. Let me just get right to the social discussion. Is it fair or right to glorify, celebrate the release of somebody who was a convicted criminal that has done wrong to society? Somebody's mother, brother, sister, uncle, father, somebody was unalived at the hands of this person or persons, and we get on the internet, it's like, yo, free this person. And I just wonder how it makes the other side feel. And I ask this to just really be fair with yourself. And again, I'm just using Larry Hoover as just the social discussion. I'm not just saying Larry Hoover, but I remember a couple of weeks ago when there was rumors, and there still are rumors, that Donald Trump might pardon Derek Chauvin. That was the person who unalived George Floyd. And we saw that video. We saw what happened. And that's triggering to people like, how could you let him out? Look what you saw, whatever, blah, blah, blah. By the way, that's direct evidence. We saw Derek Chauvin on, you know what I'm saying, George Floyd, right? And even with direct evidence, Donald Trump wants to pardon him. And people are like, oh my gosh, how could you let him out? But then, because we don't see Larry Hoover, or we don't see et cetera, are we forgetting about the things that they have done? Larry Hoover sold DRUG. He was the leader of a GANG. He did unalive people. Like, I get it. He's changed. He's been in there for 50 years. He's been rehabilitated. And again, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be let out, but it was the same thing that happened like in Jamaica when Vybz Kartel was celebrated for being released. I was part of that too. Yo, Vybz is out. I want to go to his concert, whatever, blah, blah. If you listen to interviews, Vybz will tell you that back in the day, he was a terror in Jamaica. Jamaica's a small country, man. All right. I have family there. I have friends that they will tell you that they know people that were affected by Vybz, and Vybz being let out was not fun for them because of things that he did to people in their community or their family. So when you see or hear things like NBA Youngboy or Larry Hoover or Kodak Black, et cetera, famous people, not famous people getting pardoned, just try to remember the families that were affected by these people who who are in jail for their crimes. And I guess social discussion is it right to celebrate the people or glorify the people that have committed especially heinous acts and heinous crimes? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Would you marry somebody who makes less than $20,000 a year if they treat you like royalty? Who makes less than $20,000 a year? Stop it. All right, first person said men do it every day. Next person says, yes, mama. With my drive and motivation, that $20,000 will turn into $120,000. What? I guess this person, I can't tell if it looks like a woman saying, yes, with my drive and motivation, that 20,000 will turn into 120. Okay. So she wants a man that treats her like royalty, and she'll build him up and turn him around, and he'll be able to make $120,000. I like that. Next person said, I would marry somebody who makes 55 cents a day if they were a good person. Money comes and money goes, but loyalty in 2025 is rare. Woo! I love that answer. Another person says it's too early for this. Another person, okay. Another person says, nope, I'm not ever dating down ever again. People will make this or less make life living horribly. Okay. Somebody else said, guys answer yes, girls answer no. Another person says, it's not about the money, it's about the lack of hustle. Because ain't no way you making less than $500 a week and you're okay with that. I see your point, though. I see your point. Somebody says, where are you going to live? Another person says, can't nobody treat you like royalty making $20,000 a year? Oh, that's horrible. The only way to treat somebody like royalty is through money? Horrible, man. Horrible. I want to give credit to some women out there that you guys have heard me say things of like buying gifts and about spending money. And I feel like for me, like my love language is quality time, and, you know, gifts or money and, you know, all of these material things is not a way to judge a person or judge a relationship. I do have to put a small asterisk on that. And I know somebody that, how do I say this without putting their business out there? Like, likes gifts, but one rose is gift enough. And one rose costs $6. So it doesn't have to be, you know, 12 or 24 dozen red roses and spend $200. It doesn't have to be rose petals at her feet. It doesn't have to be the forever roses that, you know, are $400. You know, some girls that their love language is, you know, gifts or what is it? Something appreciation, whatever that is, that it doesn't necessarily mean money. And I have maybe been guilty of hearing that too. It could just be the fact of, I like that you were out and you thought of buying me this one rose. And I think I've told the story before where my sister's husband buys her this coffee that she likes, and it's a coffee at the gas station. Why she likes it, she doesn't even know, but he'll come home sometime, or she'll come home. Oh, sorry. He will come home, put the coffee in the microwave, and she wakes up and she goes into the microwave and she opens it, and there's this $2 cup of coffee, and that means a lot to her. So $20,000 can buy you one red rose and a cup of coffee. So shout out to the girl that appreciated one red rose. Next thing is, you make $20,000 a year. The last thing you need to worry about is getting married. Horrible. We are truly the only culture still having these same talking points. Okay. No resentment or jealousy will build over time. If a woman marries a man that makes significantly less than her, I don't agree with that. No matter how well she treats him, it's in a man's nature to want to provide. At least most men, those men will end up resenting you for being yourself and enjoying the fruits of your labor. So no. Okay. You're right to your own opinion. And yes, even if you want to say stereotypically that a man wants to provide, there's other ways of providing than just money, but I still respect your opinion. No, not paying all the effing bills. Another person said, nope. Less than 20,000, nope. Men would, women wouldn't. Somebody says, what job he got? Yes, we can figure out a way to make your income increase. I love that answer. I love that. So look, I'm going to stop it there because we're getting a little repetitive. So he can consistently ask me for money. No, thanks. I'm skedaddling. So I think there's twofold in there where, yes, I like seeing that of like, yo, okay, he's making 20. I'm going to help him or her get more. But also, I also see on the other end, for me, I would have to be like, why are you only making 20? Have you only been making 20 because you don't have the ability to make more? Like, what is the reason? For me, it's, y'all know, it's the nuance. Like, what's behind the 20,000? Is it because you've been in school? Is it because and here's the thing, do you absolutely love your job? Is this the job that makes you the most happiest person in the world? And there's no way making any more money could make you that happy. And if that's the case, then fine. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's like whatever it is, like you give back to the needy or you give back to whatever. Like I would have to know what it is. And if I find out somewhere along the lines, it's you just being lazy or you just, not helping yourself, then that's where I have a problem because it's not the 20, it's about the nuance of that person. And even me as a man who's an alpha man, who I'm a provider, and I don't necessarily need a woman to work financially, thank the Lord. But I still would like to have, I still want to have my wife or my partner be ambitious and understand how to navigate through life and be able to make a higher salary or a six-figure salary or whatever, so that our children have both parents to teach them how to navigate through this world and to teach them how to be ambitious. Because I might be away working and only she is around, so I'm not going to want my wife to not have that tool. And because if you don't have that tool, then my kids are not going to have it. Then it's only me being the ambitious one. That was a lot to say, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right. Unfortunately, this brings us to sports news. Minnesota Timberwolves has lost to OKC 4-1. So horrible, man. So that's embarrassingly horrible. Minnesota Timberwolves and Edwards, all this talent on that team. And I already knew that OKC was going to win. I said that, but thought we'd have a little bit more of a series, man. I'm so disappointed when Eastern Conference or Western Conference finals are that boring. Depending on what time you guys are watching this, the Pacers and Knicks game, Knicks are down 3-1. I really hope the Knicks don't get eliminated and both Eastern and Western Conference series are 4-1. I at least hope, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's in the Garden. Knicks are not going to get eliminated in the Garden. No, it's gonna go up 3. Yeah, it's gonna. I predict it will go up 3-2, and then maybe they'll lose 4-2. But New York, no, we ain't going out like that, man. Let's go. Y'all know I lived in Queens. I lived in Brooklyn or Bronx. Brooklyn. Where's Brooklyn? Yeah, Brooklyn. And Jersey, which is almost like New York, right? Because I was in New York every day. Anyways. Go Knicks. Let me know what you guys think. Who's going to make it between the Pacers and Knicks in the comment section below. All right, y'all. That is my show. Thank you so much for kicking with me. Thanks again, once again, for all the comments and sticking by me. Yeah, boy. I love y'all, man. All right, before I let you guys go, just want to remind you to click that link below for free sign up. Free. You have the whole weekend, man. It's free. Just go out and see if any of your stuff has been out on the dark web, and you're going to come back and thank me, all right? Click the link below. I'm going to put up the QR code one more time. Shout out to Aura. Okay, a couple of housekeeping rules. Well, not rules, but update. I can't say if we're going to have a show or not for a Friday night, Saturday morning show. If we do, that will act as the Sunday night, Monday show, okay? If we don't have a Friday night one, there'll be a Sunday night one. I'm not going to do like last week and mess up. You'll have one or the other, a Friday night or a Sunday night, okay? I'm thinking because Mia is on the stand and the cross-examination, I think it's probably going to go down. I'm probably going to have a Friday night, but just keep on checking the site and we'll let you guys know, okay? Before I let you go, just want to remind you guys of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud podcast. For my YouTubers who are, if you're ever going on a flight or if you're ever going in the car and you don't have access to the internet, we're available on all podcast platforms. You can just download the show and take us with you. Don't worry about having no internet, all right? Just go to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. Now, for my podcasters, thank you so much for your downloads. Really appreciate it. However, we would love for you guys to come and hang out on YouTube. That's where most of the Out Louders are. The comment section is lit. I keep on saying this every day. I'm going to try to start going over to podcast platforms and taking some comments, but there's so many more here and there's so much more like engaging stuff. Sorry. Come over to YouTube, all right? Just head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Here are the housekeeping rules. You got to hit that subscribe button that gives you entrance into the Out Louder family. Hit that like button. We got to get the algorithming. Please comment, even if you don't want to join in. I understand people don't want to all say their opinions and stuff. That's fine. Just at least let me know, hey, Trent, I'm watching from here. I'd just like to know where people are at. It's a global podcast, all right? Fourth, if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because that definitely helps in growing the channel. I appreciate y'all. For those who want to follow me outside the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. That's where I post a lot of your comments in my stories, so make sure you follow me there. We also started a new blog page on Instagram called Formally Out Loud, FORMALLY Out Loud. And that is where we'll put stories throughout the day that we'll talk about on the podcast or after the podcast. That's where we'll take like breaking news. We'll take stuff. You'll get to know it directly from Formally Out Loud on Instagram. And we'll talk about more here on the show. We'll also play things that are like that have censorship or copyright. The things that YouTube won't let us play, we'll play it. We'll give it to you all on Formally Out Loud. So make sure you follow that Instagram account. All right. That is it. I'm not too sure if I'll see you for the rest of the week or not, if for the rest of the weekend or for the weekend or not. If I don't, have a great week. We'll see you Sunday night, Monday morning. If not, I'll see you tomorrow and I'll be working Friday night. I can't wait for this trial to be over. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow or I'll see you Sunday. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.